खेल रचा के भेजे मैनू तू बना के भेजे तैनू मैं बना के भेजे हाय को होंदी है वे जिंदगी तू मिलना नी मैनू वे दोबारा वे तू मैनू छड़ जाना. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast once again to Two Family Queens, hosted by Selena, me, and
Samita, me.
Welcome back, everybody, again. What we decided to do from now on in our podcast is, start with the intro song, sort of from different artists and giving them a shout out. This one in particular is my sister's, one of her favorite cover artists. What's her name?
Tanishka Bahl?
Yeah, she's really pretty, first thing, and she sings really good, and this has been a really popular song in at least, from ever since the movie Sersha released, and she did such a beautiful cover for B Prok's song. If you don't know what song this is, it's called Barrya 2.0 from Sersha. So here's a little shout out to this artist. Maybe if you guys want to check it out, feel free to on YouTube. Her name is again Tanishka Bahl or
Bahl. I think that's the one. But...
So okay, so let's get right into it, shall we?
Yeah.
There was our one particular fan that asked for even an episode on Katrina Kaif, but we're going to be doing that. What we thought of was doing like a celebrity episode. Maybe bi-weekly or every other episode.
Yeah, because it gets tiring, You can only hear so much about a person.
Exactly.
And we don't really come up with particular, like, hot, exclusive things that nobody has ever heard before.
Yeah.
So we thought, we would like to switch it up a little bit and make celebrities thing like a weekly or a bi-weekly thing.
Yeah, every other week or so. Yeah. So, but we want to do something Katrina related because, she has been in the news currently for a while for, her big main event sort of thing, which was her wedding.
Yeah.
So when did it happen? Let's break that down. So it happened on December 9th of 2021.
Yeah, the rumors had been circulating, 2 months?
A month, maybe. I wouldn't say 2 months. Maybe 2 months, I don't know. But, it was just everywhere. You could just not get away. You couldn't escape those news. Yeah. Which I guess in their sort of, being popular and being an actor, staying in the current news, they did pretty well with. Because, that's all you really talk about is like, oh, this is what's happening in her wedding. This is what's happening in her wedding. So there was a lot of release of details. To a certain point, you get annoyed, but you're kind of happy because you feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, it feels like there's a big wedding happening at your house,
Exactly.
So, and especially I think a celebrity big as her, I think it's rightly justified. Mm-hmm. It's just I wish it wasn't broadcasted in every channel and every hour, Yeah. It should have been.
So, like I said, it's fun until it gets too much.
Yeah.
There were some points I was like, okay,
her Mandy, 1 lakh for her Mandy, please, come on.
Yeah, getting shipped from somewhere else and stuff. I'm like, those are minor details that we really don't need to hear about.
Yeah.
And there are, of course, gullible people who will be like, oh my god, this is so exciting. But
me being one of them.
Yeah, my sister being one of them. But, they had I feel like, not maybe everything, but they definitely had a say in a lot of things that were going to get released to the public.
Yeah.
Just to keep them in talking mode, which, as I said, they did rightfully so. I wouldn't say they exploit their wedding. I think they just did the right amount of publishing out there.
Yeah, I think, this is the best time to take advantage of everything that they're going on right now.
Yeah.
Because I think after a month, because we haven't seen any picture, I know they posted some things here and there.
Yeah.
But I wish I could totally see them do an interview and stuff because they're newlyweds. I want to see how their chemistry is,
Exactly.
But, yeah, if it doesn't happen in the next month or two, I'm going to be
disappointed
and a little bored, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hate them or anything. It's just,
of course, you want to. they should be keeping you excited on the edge of your seat. Like, the thing that they did with us, for me and my sister in particular, is, you know, after they get married, the celebrities come from wherever they get married, and then they get papped in the airport, and you see the mehendi, and you see them wearing the sindoor, all nice, and, like, all bridey glow. Yeah. And they, like, just ran away to some place, and nobody knows where they went for like 2-3 days. Yeah. And then when we come back, I mean, the joy was there. We could see the wedding glow, the bridal and the groom glow, which is there 100%. But I was just like, why were you making us wait so long? But
I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of over it, you know. Yeah. I was so upset when I first heard that they just ran away.
Yeah. I mean, completely, somewhere in the helicopter, they just disappeared. Poof. Yeah. They're not there anymore. So, talking about their wedding, it was obviously just intimate family members, and I think there were some celebs like Radhika Madan, Neha Dhupia, Sharvari. I don't know her last name, Sharvari. I think she's rumored to be Sunny Kaushal's girlfriend.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and then it was a lot more, I think, just close relatives from Vicky and Katrina's side of the family.
In talks of Sunny Kaushal, what do you think of their relationship? How cute is that, huh?
Like Katrina and hers?
Yeah, leaving comments on each other. And
I like when there's like some sort of normalcy into it. You know, being a celeb, you're already put into this high status, which I feel like you don't really need to be. But you know, people love celebrities, and they really do put them as like gods and goddesses, which, as I said, is not, I don't think it's okay for you.
Do you think they do normal things like us?
For sure. I think especially, maybe not Katrina, but Vicky Kaushal and Sunny Kaushal, I feel like they're grounded. Yeah. You could see by the interview that they did together that Vicky is more on the, I think, maybe the stardom hasn't hit him that far yet to be like, oh, I'm a celeb, so like, you know, you can't touch me type of thing. So I think his parents come from this very normal middle class mindset. Yeah. So I think they are not like too much obsessed into themselves and more about like how do we make the living, or I don't know. Am I making sense?
A little bit.
Little bit. I'm talking too much. I think so.
Because you gotta keep it concise and to the point, you know. Yeah. So one of the things that I was also disappointed by is how Katrina, you know, she's this big star, and I wish she had experimented more with like the looks and the wedding dress, you know. I know this is going to be a topic later on, but I just wanted to put it in. She was a full-on Sabya bride, and I was just like, you know.
The thing is, like, I like the fact that she embraced one designer in particular. I didn't like the fact that it was Sabya, like you said. It's such a overused designer at this point. Like, every celebrity has been doing that for the past 3 years, I would say. Starting with Bipasha Basu. I think she is the original Sabya bride. Rather than Tanishka. Yeah. But her wedding was so low-key, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even know what she wore in her wedding. I know she wore a red sari when she was doing the appearance. Yeah. And, like, that is what we call the after-wedding glow. You know, that one. And Aishwarya Rai, you know, when she came out in that red sari, I was like, damn, they look good.
So, yeah. But they really tricked us into thinking that they were going to do different designers because, you know, they had posted pictures. And, but it's okay. I think she looked good. For a bride, I think at the end of the day, the dressing, like, just doesn't matter. Yeah. It's the happiness that you see in their face, and it just radiates to everyone. So the dresses and the saris and the lehengas they wear is just so pale to themselves and their feelings, you know.
Yeah. Do you like that much of? I mean, I know, like, if you were you and me, and if we wanted to be, like, you know what? I just want it to be an intimate wedding, and I just want, you know, certain amount of people there, and it got leaked. How would you feel? So, do you think as a celebrity it is okay because they're humans to be that private about their wedding, or do you think because they're a public figure they should not be that? Or what do you think?
Okay, that's a great question. If I were to be a celeb, or as a normal person, are you saying? What would you like if I was a celeb?
So from a normal person that you are,
yes,
looking at Katrina, this big celeb, do you think it's the right thing to do to be that intimate,
private,
that private about it?
See, like, my thing is, I feel like once you are in the public image, you kind of have given that up, the privacy up, you know, about certain things.
Yeah, let's get on to a bigger, you know, like when they say, oh, I want my private life to be private. When do you think that should be kept private, or when, you know, what do you think is the right amount?
I think when they're initially like dating or talking to people, to other celebrities. I feel like that should be something private, because I feel like your image gets set out to be this player or something like that. If you're not, if you're not matching up with the one celebrity and you end up talking to another one, I think that something should be private. Up to a relationship, that can be private. Because it seems like in interviews, a lot of people end up asking more about the relationship aspect rather than the movies that they're doing or the characters they're playing, which I feel like isn't fair to a celebrity who has worked hard to, show their work. Yeah. But I feel like once you have decided to get married, I feel like, as an audience, you love to see the people, that their favorite celebrity has chosen to get married with. So I feel like releasing a video, like I liked what Anushka Sharma did with her wedding clips, even though it's not completely all there. It's a small clip for you to see, but like, okay, wow, she looks so genuinely happy. They look such a good pair. You kind of know what the ceremony looked like and stuff. Yeah. So I think just releasing maybe a 30-second video is okay. I understand you want to have a private wedding. It's a private wedding for a reason, I'm sure. But I feel like, your fans just do so much and they invest themselves so much into this. I feel like it's unfair if they don't do something like small video showing what had happened at that incident or like the wedding. Okay, so you say it is okay if they were to release a little bit more so that the fans can see it, right? Yes. What about, I'll get there. Mm-hmm. So Alia and Ranbir. Yes. Like in the beginning, before this Brahmastra promotions, everybody knew they were dating. Yeah. But they didn't, I know Ranbir once addressed her as his girlfriend, which is okay. But I'm saying they didn't like fully address that they were dating, you know. She'd put like 8 or RR, that, and then he would acknowledge her here and there, and very little things, or like Disha Patani and Tiger or Kiara and Sid, who never actually publicly go out and say it. Yeah. What about them? Where do you think is the right balance? Or do you think we should be more like Kiara and Sid, never say it? No, somewhere? I feel like that is foolish. Because you just know at that point. Now this is where we get the tea. So you're already taking pictures like to the paps, right? You're going on vacation together. Like even with Ananya and Ishan Khattar, people know they're dating because they drop these picture hints that they are together, going to same places and stuff. So not confessing, I think what they're thinking is if they do publicly accept it, like I said, that's all you're going to be asked about is just your relationship with that one person. So but I think if you can limit the personal questions from an interviewer, I think it's okay. Because, even with Katrina, whenever she was dating Ranbir, it was never, they weren't just asking about, so how's your relationship with Ranbir Kapoor and stuff. But you don't think so? Because I think because we all know that she's not the best actor out there. Of course, she's one of the best. She's one of, I'm saying, she's a veteran and she's seasoned and she has her own, loyal following. Yeah. I think up to a certain point, when she was dating Ranbir and this whole scandal with Deepika and stuff, I think it became a big issue. Yeah. But in the midst of dating, after you confront the fact that you are dating a celebrity, but after that, I feel like they don't ask you as much. Even after a breakup, don't you think she was asked that question a couple of times before she had to come out and give an answer? Yeah. See... Okay, I just don't like them just teasing about a relationship. I think that's what I'm annoyed. Okay. That, like I said, with Siddharth and Kiara and Tiger and Disha, you can either just completely deny everything and choose. I guess it's your personal life and whatever they want to do is perfectly fine. But as a human being or a fan, I'm like, I just know that you guys are dating. So it's really okay for you to just say, you guys are dating. Nobody's going to do anything about it. Nobody's going to cockblock you at all. Instead, people are going to be even more joyous that you guys are dating. Yeah. And I just don't like the teasing and playing around the fact that they're dating. Do you think it has got to be something like, how after breakup, it got pretty ugly with, Kat and and then it became a huge thing until we found she's found happiness in Vicky. I think that's why people are very afraid of that awkwardness, and especially when they're working together. Do you think? I think but with that, I think let's give Deepika and Ranbir for instance, right? They were so upfront about their relationship. They chose to make the decisions, you know, that how much they want to publicly release and stuff like that. So after that, you know, after you break up with another celebrity, it's bound to happen that you're gonna get asked about it. But I completely forgot the question.
Yeah, I think when you don't directly like address it to the public, I think we're always gonna speculate. Like, oh well, are they dating? Are they not? What's happening? You know.
I guess that's a good way to stay in the media again. But what was your question regarding that? I forget.
No, I'm saying I think the reason why they don't want to directly say it is because, you know,
after the breakup,
they're gonna get bombarded. Yeah.
Yes. So, but like I said, I think it depends on how much you
put out in the world.
Exactly. Let's say, give example, Alia and Ranbir, right? God forbid if they were to break up, you know, you bet that they're gonna both be asked about each other a lot, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, how's your chemistry with Ranbir, how are you doing with Ranbir, and stuff like that. But it's because they chose to be so publicly out like that. If Ranbir if Vicky and Katrina were to have broken up, nobody would have asked each other like, oh yeah, what's your like chemistry or your relationship with Katrina at this current moment. So I think it really depends on how much your celeb is.
Well, we completely got off the Vickat wedding topic.
Yeah, so I guess that's the fun part about it, right? Like,
yeah, so let's break down her looks.
Yes.
Physically, and then how happy she looked. Like, let's rate it.
Okay, so first, let's say, what's your favorite look out of all the looks that she had?
What's the one with the multicolor? Was that Haldi or was that... No,
that was Mehndi.
That was Mehndi. Yeah. I think she looked her best in Mehndi. And you know how Vicky is leaning on her knee? Yeah. In the picture?
Yeah,
that is
like
my favorite
proposal
picture.
type of?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that too. I think my favorite is going to be probably her Haldi. They look so good together, and I especially love this photo.
I think like in that... Because for me, I have to see that... They both are like equally in love. I know it's very, very weird thing, but in a picture, if I don't see them like equally in love, it's equally not holding each other, it kind of like irks me.
Irks you?
And in that I think in that day, in those pictures, I feel like she was holding on more to him than he was to her. Okay. I mean, of course, these are pictures. They don't really talk, so we don't know, but
they do.
But they do.
So I understand what you mean.
I feel like she was more in love, and I think she was more in love with him than he was showing it to her in the pictures. Okay. But in Mehndi, I think is the opposite. I think he was going all out for her, and that's what I loved. Yeah. I was like, you know what? This balances out.
I was gonna say, like, I was like, that kind of does balance. Like, one photo Katrina's doing more, and the other one is Vicky Kojo. But I think the best picture has to be with, you know, them together at the wedding. Like, looks-wise...
Her profile, you mean? The one that she has on profile?
Yeah, that's my favorite picture, right?
I think that's what you said.
Yeah, that is my favorite
Mine was where they were holding hands in there.
In the mandap, yeah. This is your favorite one. Yeah. So, if you go to Katrina's Instagram, in her wedding photo, it's the second image that my sister likes, and mine is the profile picture or the fourth picture in that. So that's my favorite, because I just love the way they're looking at each other. You can just feel the love and the warmth.
Ethereal, I think that's how you say it. Ethereal.
I think. So, yeah. Anyways, we talked.
And then what about her post-wedding look, like her kurtas, you know, that she wore to the helicopter? Do you remember that? I know you said you didn't really see a lot of it when we were talking about it. But I thought it looked cute.
That was too much, like, wait. Is that one with the floral print? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think I liked it that much.
And what about her
post, like, airport look? Yeah. I like that one. I think it looked okay. But my favorite so far, like, after bridal, I think is with Deepika wearing the nude.
But I think...
She looked so good.
We talked about it earlier, too. And, you know, how Anushka gave her a run for the money with the blue kurta. I loved when she... I think she...
That was...
Narendra Modi. Yeah?
Yeah, that was Narendra Modi. That's something else.
No. That is after the wedding. You can see she has a red churi on. Ooh. She has blue kurta on and red churi. Are you looking at it right now?
Yeah. Okay. So, I was like, what's her name? Anushka Sharma.
Blue kurta. Don't ever say that. They're going to come for you.
Yeah.
But I myself, I'm not like the biggest...
This one? You like this one?
No. Here.
I was so confused. I like the fact, I mean, Katrina is so distinguished with her own sense of, like, fashion and her hair. And I think a lot of people would agree with the fact that, you know, whenever you wear Sabyasachi, you become a sabya bride, all you care about is having this like big fucking oily bun and having a slit in the middle so you can put like so much sindoor in the middle. And I'm so glad like Katrina didn't end up doing that because that's just not her. I like the fact,
I think Deepika was like poster of that.
Yeah, she really was the no, Anushka did it first.
But I mean, I don't think she set that trend.
Do you remember like when she wore the red sari and her necklace is so heavy and her sindoor is so heavy?
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
But here's the thing though, right? She looked good in it. And then Deepika did it. And then it became big because now it's like two actors did it. Now it's a trend, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like
I see that.
She's solidifying it. It worked well for Anushka though. So
yeah. You think so? Yeah. I think that red sari was a bit too much. Like, especially with her high neck blouse and her jewelry being so heavy on her. I don't think she pulled it off that well.
Oh,
my personal opinion.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And you didn't like Deepika's that white sari, gold border.
Yeah. Abu Jani Deep Sandeep Ghosla sari. That I just thought that was just too much. Like,
all right, let's save that for the fashion.
Okay. Anyway, so we talked about intimate wedding. We're having smaller group of people, and right now the biggest thing is currently happening. The talk of the town is COVID. New variant of COVID called Omicron, if I'm right.
Yo, get your vaccines, man.
Yeah, really. We live in America, so thankfully we have that privilege of getting the vaccines, both of them.
Yeah.
My sister and I, we both got the Pfizer, and we also got our booster shot just 2 days ago, on the 31st actually. So we're pretty good to go, but that does not mean that we're never going to get COVID. But it's just, your symptoms are just not as
severe.
Yeah. It wouldn't hit you so much harder than your normal. So if you can get vaccinated, we fully support the idea of getting vaccinated, So that's ours.
No politics. Because I feel like I understand. Yes. I understand both sides, I think you should encourage people, but it should not be mandated. Yeah. But at the same time, you should be a good human being, good citizen, good societal person to, be like, you know what? Maybe I should do this for, not just for me, but people around me.
Yes.
So that's understandable.
But
when you make something mandatory, I think that's when...
Yeah. That's when people get riled up about it. So, just be safe out there. We have known a few people who have gotten COVID and they are not having the funnest time, I would say. Nobody really does. So with COVID related, India and, New York City, these are the crowded people, right? There are so many people.
And these two things are happening in the news as we're talking about it. That's
exactly.
Why.
So with New York related, since you are from America, we have to talk about AOC.
Yeah.
Traveling to Florida, wearing masks,
TMZ was full on giving a full ass report on that one.
Yeah. So it's a bit hypocritical. Yeah. We wear our masks anywhere we go. At one point, there was a certain time that we didn't really have to wear masks, and we didn't wear masks. But ever since
we're so tired, and it doesn't fit our face. But
and you get masked, which is not fun, But now we have gotten back to being masked in our jackets, our purses, everywhere.
Yeah.
So AOC, who is Alexandria
Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, she's in a big trouble. And since we're Bollywood related, let's talk about Bollywood celebs really like preaching something and doing something completely different. Let's talk about even like Kareena Kapoor Khan. She was tested positive for COVID and she quarantined for 14 days. Her test came out negative, and then she was back again meeting groups of people, for Christmas dinner and stuff like that. So that being one. Now, the recent people that have been traveling for New Year's and post about, India cases are rising. Please be safe. Don't travel to places.
Yeah.
Being hypocrites. Let's just say in another word. Is Alia Bhatt and Ranbir Kapoor. They traveled, I believe, to Kenya for New Year's Eve and New Year's. Siddharth Malhotra and Kiara Advani, Ananya and Ishan Khattar, Tiger Shroff, Disha Patni. These are all people who traveled
out of the country too.
Yeah.
Celebrating.
Ananya and Siddharth's group, they didn't travel out of the country, but they did travel out of the state.
Okay.
You know what I mean? These are celebs that have, I think, somewhat of a power towards the younger group of people. A big sort of power. And making decisions like that and going around and traveling and later on posting about, oh yeah, guys, stay safe. Don't travel anywhere. Being hypocrites. What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I love them, but it's really disappointing to see, because that's why I was so disappointed at AOC case, because I love AOC and I loved everything that she stood for, and most of the time she was very good at not contradicting herself, and she's very good at what she says, and then boom, she goes to Florida and she's partying. I mean, hey, we all are humans, we love partying, once in a while we all want to get away, which is fine, but don't come out here, preach, and then go do the same thing. Like, give yourself some space, or don't talk too much about it.
Yeah, that's true.
And same with all these people. If you're gonna be, be COVID safe and all that stuff, then don't do that. Yeah. Nobody's telling. I mean, I guess half of the people say, "Oh, post something about it. You're a celebrity. You have all this power," and then half of them are like, "Well, don't say it if you're not gonna do it."
Yeah, even the fact it's like not posting it. I feel like you shouldn't be traveling at this time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like not a lot of people have been traveling out of country in the United States. Yeah. I mean, they do travel out of state because of all these holidays and stuff, but I feel like going out, like, especially when COVID is hot and happening and there's an increase in cases like that. Yeah. Traveling outside, no matter how valuable a celebrity you are, I think it's stupid. This happened, I think, even in the summertime when celebs were just going to Maldives, like it was nothing, like nothing was happening in India. Yeah. And it was worse, actually. They had cases rising because people just didn't care about it anymore. And these celebs don't realize that it might not affect their life as much, but it's the poorer class family members, the workers that work at their houses. If they get COVID, nobody's going to be there to take their financial medical bills and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think it's very inconsiderate of them to preach something and do completely something different.
I get it.
So I don't go around saying, oh yeah, like, guys, don't travel, and then I travel everywhere. Yeah. I try to maintain my distance with people. I wear my mask. I get vaccinated as much as I can. So I feel like it's stupid and wrong of these celebs to just go out and do their own thing while the whole country and everyone else is suffering because of their poor decision making skills.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I don't preach if you're gonna do the same thing. Yeah, then you are like rest of us. If you're gonna act like you're gonna be better than us, then be better than us.
Exactly. Yeah, don't just show off. No need to hiding all these intellectual things if you're not gonna follow through with it. Exactly. Okay, so as you said, New Year's. Mm-hmm. Let's first wish everybody Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I'm sad to say I feel like 22 isn't going to be much different than 21. It's already starting the same way as 2021 did with COVID cases rising and stuff. Maybe I think it's going to be the new normal, having COVID and just being cautious about it. I don't know how many
Let's not.
Yeah, let's not wish for it, but I don't know, just a gut feeling, it just feels like
I see it too. I mean, there's not a lot of happening, and not a lot of people are making progress, so yeah, I understand.
In America, it's okay so far. There hasn't been any talks of lockdowns or anything. I don't think we're going to be in a lockdown anytime soon, but I think smaller countries where we are from originally is Nepal. If there's any sort of a high case rising, they should go immediately into a lockdown. And I'm sure India, they had a mini lockdown in New Delhi, if I'm not wrong, because, cases were spiking up all over again. So please be safe. But regarding New Year's, I hope you guys have set some new resolutions if you're into doing the resolutions. I
don't think most of the people are not.
At this point, yeah, they're like, fuck it.
We don't know when we're gonna die, so.
Yeah, I was thinking of setting up a New Year's resolution, but I'm like, if I'm just gonna fail through it, what's the point of doing it? So I didn't end up doing resolutions.
I make a resolution every day. Be like, oh, my belly is getting bigger? Shit. And then I need to do something about it. Yep. Go home and eat.
Yeah. Really. We're at this time in our head and we're like, every day is our last day, really. Live it like it is. I mean, don't go into debt thinking you're not gonna survive tomorrow.
But eat all you want, girl, please.
Yeah, seriously, be happy. That's what you really should be doing. Make sure you are not surrounded with toxic people. I think that was our main goal for 2022, is cut out toxic people out of our life.
And it's happening, slowly but surely.
Yes, so I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to 2022. Yeah. So now, since 2022, there's so much ahead. We're only on the 4th day of the January. Yeah. We have to talk.
But it already feels like it's been so long.
Yeah, today I was just reflecting back, and I was like, oh my god, Christmas and New Year's already gone. I just feel like it's beginning of December, but not of 2021, but 2022 already.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about 2021. Looking back at it, okay? We have to talk about the movies that has been released, the actors and the actresses that really stood out to you.
Yeah.
Because 2021 year was, I think, a lot was about content being released. And you could see how well the content was being liked and taken in by the audience. So let's name our 3 favorite actors of 2021.
Actors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think ours is going to be a very similar list. But
male and female, right?
Yeah, actors 3, actor 3, and movies 3.
Oh, shit.
So there's quite a lot of movies that released. We can talk about shows too, but we don't really watch a lot of Indian shows.
Yeah.
We watched Mirzapur season 2, but I think did that release in 2021?
I have no idea.
I don't remember either. So, see, it's just time has been just such a blur.
Yeah.
We don't know what released at what year.
Right.
I wanted to watch Family Man season 2, but just never got around it. There's just so many things happening, unnecessary things really. So, okay, think of 3 actresses that you think you did great. You don't have to name their movies, just performance-wise that you have seen so far that you really liked.
So Akshay Kumar.
Okay.
Because the hustle, man. I mean, even if his movies are mediocre and they have been doing great because of his energy, I feel like, I mean, he is hustling. I think he just knows what it, I think he just goes for it and he does it. I think everybody respects a doer. It doesn't have to be, I know it's not the best, but I'm saying as a doer, as a fellow, like, I never get, like, I am tired for him, you know? It's like, he never gets tired. He's always busting and hustling, I think. And I know that kind of, like, dilutes the content that he is into. But I feel like, hey, you gotta respect the man. That's what I think. If nothing, respect for Akshay Kumar.
Yeah.
Then Kriti Sanon. She
do like first actresses. Let's section it off.
Well, like I don't have 3 per each.
Okay.
These are just like things that just come into my head.
Okay, so let me ask you a question regarding Akshay Kumar. So, would you prefer quantity over quality over him?
Of course, I would prefer quantity over quality.
With him?
Oh, sorry. No, sorry.
I was like, what?
Oh, that's a little screwed in my head. It's the wine, I promise. No, I feel like with him, it's definitely quantity over quality that he has been doing.
Yes.
But I would prefer quality over quantity. But also, I will give credit where it's due and say he's been doing good. Yeah. Mediocre, if not good, at everything that he does, and he's doing a lot.
Yes.
So it kind of speaks a lot for him, you know? And then Kriti Sanon, because she is a fucking star, I want to say. Yeah. She took me by surprise how Mimi did, like, what Mimi did for her image, her character, and how she's an she is as an actor. Yeah. So, Kriti, you go, girl. Yes. Next movie, I'm gonna be watching you. I'm gonna be paying close attention to what you do because I have nothing but respect for you. Yes. You've been doing great. And then let's see another movie. I mean, Shersha, I think Siddharth Malhotra did really well. But yeah, I think those would have to be my... I mean, of course, I love Sanya Malhotra, but it's been forever. I've never hated her. You know, I've always liked her. Yes. But these 3 people took me by good surprise, and they have shown that they deserve the respect that they got this year. So Siddharth, Kriti, and Akshay. Okay. So I think with me, for me, Mrunal Thakur, I don't know if you know her. I do know her. Yeah. Of course, we talk about her all the time. Yeah. Like always. That's how, like, I think... No, but I do know her. Yes. Our dad likes her. He thinks she's, like, cute looking. She has a cute face. So, not in a creepy way, of course. I think Mrunal Thakur... He doesn't know her name, though, so it's not creepy. So I really like her. Because she was out there more, you know? So you were able to recognize her face. And which is great, you know, as an actor, that's what you want to be. Her new movies releasing Jersey with Shahid Kapoor. She had one with Dhamaka with Kartik Aaryan. And she had one, Tufan, with Farhan Akhtar. So she really stood out to me. Yeah. After that, I have to give it to Dhanush.
Ever since I watched Atrangire, like my love. I mean, I've watched a lot of his South Indian movies too.
But do you think? I mean, yes, I can definitely tell that he's a great actor. I'm not gonna say great, but I'm gonna say he's a very good actor.
Yeah.
He's able to kind of check all the boxes in my checklist, being like, oh, convince me that you are this guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't you think it's a little repetitive? Do you think he kind of has because we say that about so many people that do very similar kind of acting. You don't think Dhanush does that?
I don't see it. No. Like,
right, interesting.
I feel like his last movie, which one, I don't know if you remember, it was the Tamil movie that they did a foreign location of. Sorry, as a foreigner coming from a different country, Messenger is a big thing. Give us 1 second. We'll be right back. Till then, you listen to the ad and enjoy. Welcome back, you guys. I'm so sorry about that. We had to pick up that call. Not fun time, but it is what it is. So what were we talking about? Dhanush being a repetitive actor. I don't see it, really. Maybe it's my biased perspective seeing it that way. I think it is. But I really don't think so.
Because I think you were the one who sent me that post on IG about this. I don't know what her name was, but she perfectly dissected his role, saying that the coloring, the holy scene was very like.
But I think that's the director. That's not him.
No, but I think it kind of like she said, the character has flaws.
Yeah.
So I feel that it kind of shows.
Yeah.
And when you were repeating the scenes, and when it comes out as repetitive to the audience.
Yeah. So I think I completely see what you mean. I also thought about the same thing whenever I was watching Atrangire with Sara and Akshay. They were playing Holi. They were like, oh, don't put colors on me. And Sonam Kapoor did the same on Ranjana before she met.
Yeah, I did not remember that.
So, but I think that's more on the creative end rather than the actor choosing to do that. And I don't think Dhanush was part of it at all. But as an actor, you know which scene I love the most from that whole movie. It's like when he tells her that he falls for her. And even though they show like no scenes of them developing feelings for each other, him saying that, I felt for it. I didn't think, I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? I really was invested into it. And then she was just like, oh no, my boyfriend's here. And she left, and I was just like, oh. Shit.
By the way, that lady was I am Shrestha. I think that's what. Yeah. Shrestha? Is that right?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I guess so.
I'm sure so. Yeah.
That's on Instagram if you guys want to check her out. That's my favorite scene of the movie. And he really sold it. And at that point, I'm just like, a great actor can do this. A great actor can just make you feel something, even though they have done nothing. Like, the story hasn't given anything to you to feel. But the actor just makes you fall for it. And I think that's why I think Dhanush really stood out for me this year. Who else would I say?
Yeah, look, she said, I think Dhanush looked extremely immature and weird. Mm-hmm. Also, he kept making indirect fun of Sarah's illness instead of seeking some real help, whereas he was a medical student.
Oh, we have to dissect into this movie, because this is so much with this movie that is wrong and right with it. But I'm just going to talk about as an actor that he is. I'm not really diving into his character.
Okay.
Right. But we will talk about it. We'll talk about some problematic movies that released this year. And then
that would definitely be in one of those, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I really liked Vicky Kaushal's performance at Sardar Udham. He really nailed that motherfucking role. Like a king he is. He really shows you that, what an actor is. And I think it's a great director duo as well. If you don't know, it was Sujit Sarkar. He did Piku movie as well. So
wow.
He's got some good movies under his belt. So I think Vicky Kaushal, Dhanush, and who did I say? Mrunal. I wouldn't say, Vicky and Dhanush would be the good actor, but I really liked Mrunal Thakur being in the spotlight so much. And I really like Kriti Sanon being in the spotlight too, because every other time we're being fed with these, new bunch of kids that are, fairly okay in this acting game. Yeah. So I like the
fact.
Yeah. They're sometimes below decent.
Yeah. I think after this movie, though, I can definitely see Sarah has some potential somewhere.
Yeah.
But it has to be, the perfect director and perfect story.
Exactly. So. And I feel like it cannot be like that every time. But yes, what were you going to say?
No, I'm saying up to a certain point, I think in the beginning, that's what I felt about Alia.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to have a great movie with a great script to have that perfect amount of acting for her to work. And I think she was very good at figuring out what was good for her. That's why she's good now. But I feel like Sarah needs to...
Yeah, she really needs to improve her own, like, acting skill. I feel like if up to a certain point, I feel like Alia can do the movie on her own. You know, she doesn't need a good director to guide her. To a certain extent, you know. But I feel like for someone like Janvi and Sarah, Ananya Pandey, like these are Tara Sutaria. They all are just out there, just really out there.
Yeah.
So okay, and then let's talk about your favorite movie of the year. Just name me one.
Oh man,
I know it's hard.
This is so hard because because I didn't really watch a lot of movies this year.
Yeah.
So I have not a lot to compare with, but.
Wait, I'm gonna look up. I don't know if Ludo movie was released this year or last year. Okay, 2020 movie. See, I was gonna say Ludo is my favorite movie, but it was in 2020.
2021. I mean...
Well, let me name some that you have seen. Paglet. Meenakshi, whatever her last name is.
The movie was below average, but her acting was good as ever.
Mimi.
Mimi was very good.
Shersha.
Shersha was very good.
We watched The Girl on the Train.
Which is okay.
Yeah. We didn't watch Ruhi, so I can't say anything about that.
Bulbul was 2020, right?
Yeah, that was 2020. And then, we really didn't watch a lot of movies this year, did we?
I mean, all of these movies, like, most of them were not even on spot.
Oh, Haseen Dilruba there is. Oh, Vikrant. How can we forget about Vikrant?
Yeah, Haseen I mean, it was a very problematic story, which is great for a movie. So, I want to say it was one of the good ones I saw that year, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Tufan that we watched. Shersa, as I said already. We didn't watch Pupulish. I can't think of it. I'm like, there are a lot of movies that we have seen. We watched Suryavanshi.
Yeah.
Dhamaka.
That was not that great. I'm gonna be honest.
Dhamaka, Atrangire. That's pretty much. Really didn't watch a lot of movies this year. Well, it's because there just weren't any good out there.
Yeah, nothing that caught our eye.
Yeah, I think which movie I think a lot of people might suggest is the Ram Prasad Ki Tedvi. It's apparently it's studded with good actors, and I think we should give it a shot watching it one day.
Yeah.
But name the movie that you thought was so far the best movie.
I think Mimi was very good. Okay. Mimi was up in there. Shersha was also up in there.
Yeah, I think to be safe. Not to be safe. I think I really liked. I would say my favorite movie of the year has to be Sardar.
Uddam.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was Haseen Dilruba.
Okay.
Because I mean, the way the story unfolds, like I said, it was very problematic. And I think that's what made that movie work. For me, when I watched it, and I watched it at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was hooked.
Yes.
Even though I was sleepy, I was hooked. And I watched it up until like 3:30 a.m. because I was like, this story is just too good to miss out.
Yeah.
So I think when a movie does that for me, that works out really well. So I have to say that is the best movie for me for the year.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the movies in here, like you said, Shadavuddam, Mimi has to be one of my very close yeah. And then Shersha was really good. I mean, it made me cry, no big deal.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a safe movie. You know what I mean? It's very patriotic. It hits you right at where it should be hitting.
Yeah.
So I think there's no wrong for that one. You know, and the songs are super great. You know, that was one of the best new albums, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about problematic movies that released this year.
Oh.
There's been plenty. We watched Suryavanshi.
Let's start with, Suryavanshi, because that was the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why.
Yeah. I personally did not like the story.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I don't know. Maybe not being an Indian, so I don't have that sort of a Indian sentiment towards it.
But even then, I don't think most Indians agree with the way that
storyline that
ended. You know,
I feel like saying like Muslims that are from other countries are terrible. I think the message just isn't great there. You're just spewing more hate towards people,
and especially when you have that much power, when you're combining the stardom of India. You know.
Yeah. So I feel like that was poor choicing, and I just did not like. I liked everything else except especially the ending of the movie. I just could not stand.
You could have gone 1,000 other ways.
Yeah, so. Really. So the messaging there was just not great, and like we said, he has such a big influence with superstars. You know, them saying that, you know, this is fucked up, or, you know, they're promoting them as in Islamophobia in a sense. It's terrible. Yeah. I did not like it. And the next one that I don't know if you have heard anything about it, but Shiddad.
Never heard it, no.
Yeah. So what the issue was, there was a scene in the movie. Well, the guy was just obsessive regarding the girl, you know. So that's clearly not a good sign. Mm-hmm. And secondly,
for the movie, you're saying, or being problematic as a movie.
As a movie, what they were doing was guy was really like obsessively in love. At this time, you know, this is not 90s anymore.
But I mean, have you looked at You in America?
Yeah, but there is this weird cult. Okay, so let me explain why this movie is problematic. Not just with the obsessive dude. But what he does is that he takes a picture of a girl. Mm-hmm. I think while coming out of the swimming pool in her bathing suit. And he puts it out on social media without her permission.
Well, no.
First thing, that's wrong, right? And what the girl ends up doing was she ends up going into the locker room of men's locker room and takes picture of naked men.
Huh?
As a revenge. So, God forbid, if it was reversal, how things would have been, you know? Girls just get a simple pass on that sort of
when
stuff.
You just said, oh, this is a movie about an upset, I'm like, well, you have seen Joe, and we love Joe. So I feel like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think we love Joe as a villain, I mean, but...
Yeah, it depends on how the story is written. But when people just pass that sort of movie, and guess who was in it?
Who?
Sunny Kaushal.
Oy.
Yeah. With Radhika Madan.
Oy!
Yeah, so it was quite a ride. I didn't end up watching the movie, but I did see scenes of it, and it was just so uncomfortable and cringing in my body. I just couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
And what are some other... And Atrangire, I think, is a bit problematic on its own. How they treat...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know Reddit was very righteous, and I think it's in a very good place to say that, you know, you're not supposed to make fun of people's... mental illness, you know, and especially when you are spreading a social message. But
like that.
Especially. But we were also talking about the fact that it's masalidar. It's not supposed to be like, you know what, people with mental illness need, like, it's not like out there for you. It's like you have to pick or choose. You know, if you're gonna be dissecting the movie, you're gonna have to be very critical.
See, but then you can say the same thing about Suryavanshi. That's even more of a masalidar movie.
Because throughout the whole movie, though, you can totally see that they're trying to portray like one, and it's a realistic thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's a big population. You're questioning a whole other country, and when I think you're talking about Sara Ali Khan, because the story can be done either way, and they chose the worst way.
Yeah,
I feel like if the whole movie had been like that, I think. That's why I'm like, I'm okay with it, because the movie, it didn't really go and say, hey, you know, because she had mental illness, I think, you know, that's why I don't think that's what it was saying.
Yeah.
I just took my own meaning out of the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, she has traumas that she didn't get to truly process, you know?
And I completely understand, you know, having sort of a mental illness after being, you know, seeing your parents. I'm so sorry. We're giving spoilers away if you haven't seen it, but I'm sorry. But I understand. People go through trauma, and I think it's great that they're
questioning the whole country. So I feel like it's a little different.
It's a little different, but I mean, mental illness is such a big thing.
It is.
You know? So just them giving her medicine, they don't even know what it is. They didn't even diagnose her properly.
Yeah. And
just treating her, and they're supposed to be doctors. Treating them with just psych meds.
No, I definitely agree that it's problematic.
Yeah.
So
I really don't like how they played with it. I understand people have mental illness.
And Reddit did it, rightfully so. I just feel like that movie is not meant to be like, oh, you know, like, this is how...
I don't know. I don't know. It can go either way.
Because for me, when I first watched it, I was like, well, it's supposed to be a romantic comedy that is done in a very... That's giving a unique story, you know. Of course, being problematic, you know, it was not conventional. But at the end of the day, I was like, well, it was supposed to be a masalidar. It's not supposed to perfectly come together, and it didn't. But Suryavanshi, I mean, I know it's a masalidar, but I mean, if you're gonna question something big, I just feel like that's bigger of a mess than trying to play with one person's character.
I think from all the movie that could have been successful, I don't think Suryavanshi should have been it. But I mean, it makes sense why it was, because I mean, it is a star-studded movie. Yeah. But I just don't get the hype of it.
And we're hitting that 50-minute mark.
Yeah. Wow, we really love to talk, don't we? Okay. So that's that. Number 1 being Suryavanshi to me, problematic. Second being Shiddat, and number 3 would be Atrangire. Yeah, that's my list. Yeah, you don't have to give your list because, you know, you don't really care for these movies as much. So, okay, let's kind of wrap it up. We don't want to exceed too much. We don't want to bore people with it. Let's talk about...
But I think this is definitely more spicy than what we said last week.
Last time, yeah. I mean, because talking about a celebrity, there's, you know, only 2
Now we're going to be more real, because at the end of the day, I feel like we did this because we want to put our opinions out there. You know?
Exactly. So, okay, your favorite song at this current moment?
And Litany.
Yeah, we really have to research our songs because we just can't think of it on top of our head.
It's Kinnachir.
With acoustic female. Yeah. Acoustic female, sorry. And the artist's name is Priyanshi Sood. You know, it's very famous on Instagram right now to talk. This song is just so much. It's played so much. And the female just did such a justice to the song. Yeah. So if you want to give it a listen, I think go for it. For me, I just saw the movie title, Koi Jaane Na, and now the only song that I can think of now is Rab Mania.
Oh my god,
I love that song.
We loved it when we first heard it too.
Yeah, so if you guys want to give it a listen, I think you should. It's such a beautiful song. It's more Punjabi type, but it's not like nothing that Indian people or Hindi speaking like people cannot understand. So
I love when they do that. When it's like, yeah, I don't know Punjabi, but it's...
You still understand it, you know? So,
and love the heaviness of the emotions, you know?
Exactly.
Love it.
So please give those 2 songs a listen if you want to look for new songs. You probably have heard of it so many times on Instagram.
But I mean, still give it a listen because it's amazing.
It's a female version that we listen to. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for listening
Again, Happy New Year. I hope you got to enjoy.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Stay safe.
And by the way, before we go, Katrina's picture. Wow. Love it. Love the Mangalsutra.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more in our next podcast. That's how we keep it hooked.
Yeah, every week we're going to have a little bit of Katrina, you know.
Yeah, we really like her, as you can see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you the next time.
Next time. Bye.